my friends, I am back. I am back and ready to get started, and I hope you are too. So I took time, the first part in part 1 of my tutorial, Jay's Knit the Spring Fling Raglan Lace Sweater. Had to stop and think. So tonight it's all about the chart, and it's all about let's go. We got a lot to cover, and before we get started, let's just real quick just kind of look at what we have. We have all the markers in, and I went around and shared with you the increase we're going to use to increase the sweater section. You have different markers to represent the sweater section. We're going to just simply use the knit into the front and into the back of the stitch. Does that make sense? We have already, one of my little markers fell out, but we have already put markers in for the border, 5 stitches, for the chart, 5 stitches, for separation. It started at 5 stitches, and we have already started to increase on that. And then, of course, we worked around with, your 2 sleeves and the back. So I hope everyone's in the right place and ready to go. Alright, tonight we start out, we are going to be working the chart. We started the sweater, increasing the sweater last week, or the part 1. So tonight we can go ahead now, and let me see if I can get everything situated here. Alright, let me get my yarn and bucket and all that. Okay, now I'm ready. So tonight we're simply going to start at row 5 on the chart. So let me check one more time, check my camera, see how it looks. If I need to come in just a little bit, I could. It seems far away. Let me just raise it just a little bit. This is just last minute little, sometimes you have to I try to bring a little more light in here. There we go. I think that will be a help. Okay. Let's see. Got the phone off the hook so it won't ring. Look, I have to go through all these steps just to... alright. Such is life, my friends. Okay, so first thing I need to do for us to get started, everyone I hope is in the right place, we need to go ahead and knit off our 5-stitch border. So I'm just going to knit 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. My marker fell off, so I had to put it back on. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Here comes my marker. Right there. Now, the next 5 stitches represents the chart. Well, if you look on the chart, I hope you can see this. If you look on the chart on row 5, that's where we're starting. Everyone should be at row 5 and ready to go. It's simply a yarn over, and then you knit 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and in with the yarn over. So I don't have really any pattern, but I still have to do the yarn overs there to make, as we knit this is going to be multitasking. So if you have a little hard time with that, just kind of slow down and like I said, take your time. We're not racing or anything. You have all the time you need. As we start working the chart, you see all these yarn overs on each, at the beginning and the end. That's what makes the chart grow. So we're going to be growing the chart, but then as we increase into the sweater, knit into the front and back, the sweater will be growing also, just like we worked in the shawl. All right, so row 5 is very easy. So you slide the marker. Now look, just simply yarn over and knit 5. You may have to hold that yarn over in place just so it stays there, and just go ahead and knit your 5 stitches. We're not ready yet to add anything. We'll do it on the next. I come up to the last yarn over there. I have to yarn over, last marker. I have to yarn over to make this last yarn over right there so that it will grow. Now I slide the marker, and guess what? I'm in those extra stitches where I knit up to 2 stitches before the increase marker to increase the sweater. Just 2 stitches, not 3. There's the 2 stitches. In the first stitch, I knit into the front, I pivot the needle and go into the back of that same stitch, and I knit it. Increase made, now I just knit this stitch, slide the marker, knit the first stitch after the marker, stop. Now it's in this stitch right there that I want to knit into the front, pivot, and go and knit into the back, and increase is made on this side of the marker. Now we will continue around until we get to the chart and row 5 on this side of the sweater front. This is the sweater front right there, the 2 front edges. All right, I'll just do that off camera. We're going to save time, like I said, tonight. We're moving tonight. All right, so I will see you back as we get to this side and put in row 5 from the chart. All right, so I have worked my way around and I am up to the chart on this side. And I went back, and you might do this too, just till you get used to it, because since we're not doing the yarn over type increase, so we don't have those eyelet holes to just look right away and see. So sometimes you may have to stop and do just like I had to go back and just double check and see if I see that little purl bump on one of the stitches on this side and on this side. And I just went around real quick while I was off camera before I came back. I said, let me just check and make sure while I was talking that I didn't forget to increase. So right before and after my increase markers, I'm using little green ones, I checked and I could see that I had made my increase as I worked my way around. So you might do this for the first few rows just to kind of get used to it, because otherwise if we did the yarn over, we could see the eyelet hole and we'd know immediately, yes, I made the increase. So let me get up to, now I'm up to the chart. I slide my marker. Of course, row 5, we just said there's no pattern, but I still have to yarn over and then knit, hold that yarn over, so to stay on this side of the marker. And then I just knit 5, 1, 2, 3, that's 4 and 5. Then I'm not done until I yarn over to put the yarn over at the very end. Then I slide the marker. I may have to hold this yarn over on this side of the marker with my thumb. Then I go ahead and knit the last 5 stitches that represent the border. Does that make sense? Okay, now we have worked row 5 around. I have my little border, my little edge stitches. I did check to make sure that I had increased in the sweater as I worked my way around. Okay, so now the next thing we have to do, once you turn the work, you're on the wrong side. Of course, all we have to do is work the right sides together. On the wrong side, you work the 5 stitches on the border and then yarn in front, purl all the stitches around till you come to the second border on this end, right there. Put the yarn in back and knit 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I will see you back and we will start to work row 7. It's just that easy right now. All right, back in just a minute. All right, so I am back and we are ready to work row 7. So see, I'm going to just be shortcutting it and just do the rows that we need to do. Everything else we've already covered. And so I think it will make it flow a lot better. Well, first of all, we have to take care of our 5-stitch border. So we'll do that right quick. I could have had that done. I was so busy checking on something. Everybody excited tonight? I wonder how long it's going to take me tonight. You think it's going to be to 2 o'clock? All right. Row 7 of our chart. Oh, by the way, this is chart number 38, so you can see it down there if you have the book and you rather follow along row by reading it. But row 7, of course, is the right side, and it reads yarn over, knit 1, 2, yarn over, and then there's a symbol here, and you go down to see what this particular designer, what she wanted the symbol to represent, and it is a slip one stitch. I'm getting all tongue-tied for some reason. Slip one stitch, knit 2 stitches together, and then reach back and pass the stitch you slipped over and off the needle. I hope I didn't botch that too much. Slip 1, knit 2 stitches together, reach back and pass the slip stitch over. That's the little symbol there. And sometimes you, like I said, we haven't done the repeats yet, but if you need to highlight just to remind you, say, look, watch, check that, pay attention, just so that you might, as you get going, it's okay to put a little highlight there. And then, of course, highlight down here. This is what how she's using the symbol. So now let's see how it looks on our piece of fabric. All right, of course, I have to start, once I slide the marker, row 7, I yarn over. Okay? Then I don't think I finished reading the row, but that's okay. Yarn over, then I knit 2, 1, 2, then I yarn over again. Now I simply slip 1 stitch, just slip it. Then I knit the next 2 stitches together, like that. But before I'm through, I have to reach back and pass that slip stitch over and off. Really easy. Everyone knows how to do that. Yarn over, knit 2, 1, 2, and before we can end this row, I have to yarn over. This row, every right side row starts with a yarn over and ends with a yarn over. So I yarn over, and you have to hold it on this side of the marker. Okay? And once you slide the marker, then we go right back into our sweater pattern. I start and I knit, and I am knitting up to my first increase marker. I knit to the 2 stitches before the marker. There's my marker. There's the 2 stitches. In this stitch, I knit into the front and into the back, just like that. Then knit this stitch, slide the marker, knit the first stitch. In this next stitch, I knit into the front and into the back. And you are on your way. You have just completed row 7 of the chart. Now you work yourself around, all the way around, and don't forget, don't move your marker or move anything up, because you have row 7 on this side. You have to work all the way around and then repeat row 7 right here on this side. Then, of course, when you turn to work, you will be on row 8. Row 8, you simply knit the borders, but purl all the stitches across to get back, so that when I meet you again, we will be on row 9. How about that? All right. Just take your time. Make sure you don't drop any yarn overs, and make sure you add the first and last yarn over. All right. I'll be working off camera, and I'll be back shortly. All right. So I am back at row 9. I'm going to speak up a little bit. My heat kicked on, but I think you will be able to hear me okay. I knit my 5 stitches for my border, and then row 9 reads, yarn over, knit 1, yarn over, then leaning to the left, there's a slip, slip, knit, then knit 1, 2, 3, leaning to the right, knit 2 stitches together, yarn over, knit 1, and then the last yarn over for row 9. So let's see how that looks. Alright, so yarn over, and I knit 1 stitch. Then I yarn over. Now it says slip, slip, knit. Now you can do it the regular way, where you slip, slip, then reach back and put this needle in, and then knit it. Okay, I just sometimes do it, knit 2 together through the back loop, because I just need a left leaning decrease. Now after that stitch, you knit 3, and listen, remember the landmark. Look, there those 3. They're the 3 friends again. 1, 2, 3. They're always together. So I knit 1, 2, 3. That's a landmark. Now, the next symbol is knit 2 stitches together. So I do that, yarn over, knit 1 stitch, the last stitch, and then don't forget to do your last yarn over, slide the marker, and guess what? You may have to hold that yarn over on this side. And now I'm on my way up the hill to do my sweater increase to the first increase marker. There it is right there. There's mine. Remember, it's best to have them all the same color. It just reminds you, this is the increase marker. So I knit into the front, knit into the back, knit that stitch before the marker, slide the marker, knit the next stitch, and knit into the front. Whoops, I took it off, but pivot and knit into the back. Alright, increase made, and now continue around. Alright, so now you have to work around, increasing the sweater, and then when you get to this side, you will repeat row 9. Alright, now we really have to watch your yarn overs, and for some reason, this pattern is very simple, the chart is very simple, but if you take your eye off of it, I don't know, sometimes I would just lose my concentration. So watch your yarn overs. Alright, I will, of course, the wrong side, you just simply do purl back, and then I will see you at row 11. Alright, so we are up to row 11. The right side working on our sweater. Alright, row 11 reads, yarn over, now knit 1, 2, 3, yarn over. There's a left leaning stitch, so that's slip, slip, knit, knit 1, right leaning, knit 2 stitches together, yarn over, then you knit 1, 2, 3, and in with the yarn over. So we've read that. Now let's see how it looks. Alright, of course I get up to, let me just check one more time. I hit my camera. Hope I didn't move it. Okay. Alright, so of course I start with a yarn over, and then I knit landmark. I knit 3 stitches, 1, 2, and 3. Yarn over. Now you can do the slip, slip, knit. Now I'm going to go back to my own rhythm here. I just need, so slip, slip, knit. Then knit 1 stitch, and that stitch, that's a landmark stitch right there. You can see it's in the center. So knit 1. Now knit 2 stitches together, just like that. Yarn over. Now landmark, knit 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, and 3. Then yarn over to end row 11, slide the marker, and now I'm on my way to my first increase marker for the sweater. Now if you're still on, let me just get up here first. Knit into the front, knit into the back, knit the next stitch, slide the marker, knit the next stitch, and then make the increase in this stitch, the next one. Knit into the front, pivot, and go into the back of the stitch and knit it. Increase made. Now I can continue around. Now, when I started, I didn't go through a whole lot of details about the needles because most people have been knitting with me, and you know, I work a lot of everything on one size when I can or where I can. Sometimes I'll drop down depending on what look I want. So I'm starting with the US. This is just a 9, but you can use any brand, any, you know, I don't get into that. I have a number 9, and it's about I don't know, maybe, I think it's still the small one, like a 29 inch for this top. Well, I'm going to try to go ahead and finish the next 2 rows. Then I'll remind you, if you have a number 9, maybe a 36 or a 48 inch in length. Then when we get up to the last row, row 16, that will be a good time to get that out so that we can change. And I'll remind you when you get there. Only reason I thought of it because my stitches are getting all bunched up. And then it becomes hard to see, and then the pattern doesn't stand out, and you think, I can't tell what I have, Jay. It's just all bunched up. So you can, once we go all the way up on to row 15, then perhaps you can change your needle when we get to row 16, the wrong side. It's easier to change it on that. Does that make sense? All right. Now, you're going to continue around until you do row 11 on this side of, on the opposite side. Okay, then of course do your purl row, and I will see you back at row 13. Now, just kind of slow it down, look at your landmarks, and watch your yarn overs. So now we are ready for row 13. So it's coming right along. You should kind of get an idea now of how it looks. And once we change the needle and it spreads out, then you're like, oh, okay, I think I see it. Okay, row 13, of course, is the right side, and it reads, it starts with a yarn over. Then knit 1, 2, 3. Now watch. This symbol is leaning to the right, so this time we knit 2 stitches together. Then a yarn over, and look, there's a landmark coming. Knit 1, 2, 3. Yarn over. Then this slip stitch is leaning to the left, so this one is the slip, slip, knit. Then landmark again. Knit 1, 2, 3, and end row 13 with a yarn over. So let's go with it. Let me move everything out of the way. I knit my 5-stitch border. Now I'm kind of sorry I didn't just pull that other sweater out and go back with that yarn. I like this one too, but I really like to feel it has a little more weight to it than this one. This is the Caron Simple Soft. Of course, it's a lighter weight, but you know, oh, such is life. that's my thing on this project. All right, I knit the 5 border stitches, slide the marker. Now start with a yarn over. Look for the 3 stitches together. There they are. That's a landmark. You can see them. So knit 3. 1, 2, 3. Then this time I'm going to knit 2 stitches together. Yarn over. And see if there's a landmark. There's a landmark. There's 3 together. 1, 2, 3. It says knit 3. 1, 2, and 3. Then yarn over. Then now we have the slip, slip, knit on this end. And it says knit 3, and there are the 3, the landmark. So I knit the last 3. 1, 2, 3, and don't forget the yarn over. Now I slide the marker. I hold that yarn over here in place so it won't go on the other side of the marker, and then I knit as I start up towards the increase marker to increase the sweater. Are you getting your rhythm yet? I hope you took that idea. I hope a lot of you read the little Jay's help box. Sometimes I'll put that when I have an afterthought or something, that if you couldn't decide on the yarn, or just best if you kind of still trying to figure out which one to use, I suggested that you go ahead and do 2 neckbands out of 2 different type, yarns. And then, yeah, maybe you're going to lose a little time by having to, knit in 2, but you can easily, way back up here, decide it well, you know what? I don't like this particular yarn. I think I'll switch to, and it's already there. The neckband is ready for you to go. Now, isn't that easy? And it saves a lot of time and tears too. Alright, so now I'm just doing my increase, and then we will get to a safe place before I start talking. Hold on. Only talk in safe places. Don't talk on a yarn over. Or something like that. It might fall off and you not see it and notice it. Always in a safe place. Okay, so I'm in a safe place now. So I will continue to work just like you're doing. You can see it's really scrunched up on this 9.29 inches in length. So that's all right. We have one more row and then we will switch our needle side and then we'll spread it out and take a look. So I will continue working around, doing my increases. Don't forget, and it doesn't hurt every once in a while to go back and just check. See if you see that little bump where you increased, that you made your increase. And then, of course, do row 13 when you come to this side of the sweater. All right, you're on a roll now. All right, I will see you back after you purl back, and we will be on the last pattern row, row 15. But first of all, just remember to do 13 on this side. All right, back in just a minute. All right, we're up to the last pattern row for our first time around on this chart number 38. It is row 15. And row 15 reads, of course, start with a yarn over, then knit 2, yarn over. Then here's the symbol that represents slip 1, knit 2 stitches together, reach back and pass the slip stitch over and off. Yarn over is the next stitch. Now watch this, knit 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Then a yarn over. Then here's the symbol again. Slip 1, knit 2 together, pass slip stitch over, yarn over, end with a knit 2 and the last yarn over to complete row 15. So we have made great progress tonight. And it's just the first time around. I'm going to see if I can, how much space I have left, see if I can put the repeat on this same tutorial. So first I knit my 5 border stitches. Now I'm up to row 15. I slide the marker and I make a yarn over. I just make the first yarn over. Now knit 2. 1, 2, then yarn over again. Now the symbol of slip 1, knit 2 stitches together, and kind of notice where it falls. Knit 2 stitches together, reach back and pass that slip stitch over so you won't get an extra stitch. Now yarn over, and then we're going to knit 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Alright, after that there's a yarn over, then there's the slip 1, knit 2 stitches together, reach back and pass the slip stitch over and off, then 1 yarn over, then there's 2 stitches left, so knit 2, 1, 2, and then you make the last yarn over. Slide the marker and hold that yarn over on this side, and now you're ready to work up the sweater to the first increase marker, just like you've been doing and will continue to do. Up to 2 stitches before the marker, into the knit into the front and into the back, knit the next stitch, slide the marker, knit the next stitch, and then increase into this stitch. Knit to the front and knit into the back. And continue around because you have to work row 15 on the other side, on the other front over here. So do that, and then before you go to the wrong side, I've pulled out, went over and found my number 9, and this is like a 36" maybe. So you can really see how this has really filled up this little small needle. So I'm gonna, once I come around and get ready to purl, I'll come back and then I'll just make sure I show you how, for those who are not sure or still new, how to just simply knit from one needle to this needle. Alright? You go ahead and go around and be sure to do row 15, row 15, and I will join you back. Okay, so I'm on the wrong side. I've just finished row 15, and when I turn to do row 16, this is a good time, you see, to get a longer circular needle. This is like a 9/29, so now I'm going to move up. I think this is a 36". 9/36. Be sure to check your size. Make sure you didn't pick up the wrong needle. Alright, don't pick up an 8 by mistake. Alright, when it comes out of your pack or however you store yours, sometimes it's unruly or the cord is all twisted up. I have shown several times on lots of videos. I simply take mine to my ironing board. Some people do hot water or other things, I don't know, but I just take mine to my ironing board, lay it on the ironing board, take a little hand towel or a pillowcase or something, just a nice little something, and turn my iron. It doesn't have to be super duper hot because this is plastic and I don't want to melt the cord, but I do want to heat it up just a bit. So I'll lay my iron on it on top of the other fabric, like a little thin dishcloth or a little dinner napkin or a pillowcase, and then just let the steam, just lay it on and run my iron. Well, really, I take the needle and I pull the cord back and forth up under the iron as the iron is sitting on top. I don't have anything here to pretend like it's an iron. I pretend like that's the iron. And so then I just run the cord back and forth under the iron. And you don't have to get it super duper straight. You just want it to be a little more ruly so that it looks more like this, that is tame. Alright? Can you see that? So now I'm ready for row 16, and this is a good place. I don't have to worry about anything, and I can concentrate and make sure I pick up all my yarn overs. Here's the needle the project's already on. Here's the one I'm just going to start knitting. Double check and make sure you have the right size. You do not want to pick up an 8 by mistake or some other number. So now that I know I have the right needle, I just simply go into, this is row 16, the wrong side of the fabric, the sweater, and I start out just like you would. I knit the 5-stitch border. Then I bring the, oops, got a split yarn there. This yarn does split, I know. Whew. Okay, so now get some yarn. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Now I bring the yarn in front because I can purl all the stitches across until I get to the end border. So slide the marker. The yarn is in front. Now I simply just purl from this needle to this one. Just like that. But take your time and that you don't drop any of your yarn overs or anything like that and have to go back and try to fix something. Just push them up and purl. Okay, I'll get to the opposite end. I'll come back and lay it out a little bit so we can see, oops, make sure that yarn over, I almost let it slide off there. Then I will be able to tell if I can get the first repeat on here, because that's the thing that new knitters, you know, how do I do the repeats, Jay? I just not sure, or you know. All right, I will continue to purl across, and then I will be right back as we get to the end.